So this is the first in a series of assessment videos on each plant type that I've grown this year. It's July 27th, and for this one we're going to cover the peppers. All the plants in here were started on around January 2nd, give or take a couple days. And all have done pretty well in the greenhouse, considering that it has gotten above 120 degrees on a lot of days this summer inside the greenhouse. I've added this fan that exhausts when the temperature hits 85, and it probably helps keep the temperature down a little bit, but not back to a normal range. And surprisingly, the plants have all survived it. I have at times let the plants dry out to the point of having the leaves droop intentionally to try to promote spiciness, and it's had some ill effects on these plants down here on the floor because they lost a few leaves because of that. But the pepper production has been quite good. The other thing about them being in the greenhouse is the pepper production was more than a month earlier than the ones outside, which have only just started to get picked in the last couple of days. These plants were moved into the greenhouse on April 11th. That's still a couple of weeks ahead of the last frost date. So the nights were quite cool. But they all survived it and did fine. There are some pepper plants in here that didn't actually get potted up until June 13th. They started out in half-gallon milk jugs, and that's what they were in the house until they came outside. But there's about 5 or 6 of them that were left in those half-gallon jugs and not potted up into 1-gallon pots until June 13th. And really, just looking at all of these, it's kind of hard to tell the difference. There might be a little bit of an increased size in the plants that are in the 2-gallon pots, and in the planters, the totes. Those are 5-gallon totes. But really, not so sure that it's just not a variety thing or luck of the draw, because there's some pretty good sized ones in the 1-gallon pots too. So these are the pepper plants in the outdoor raised bed, and they all kind of blend together. They're planted fairly densely, but the 3 plants on the right far side went into the ground on May 3rd. Still fairly cool at night. And then the rest were added to the ground on May 30th. And really, the timing didn't seem to affect how they produced peppers. Of course, there's different varieties here, and I'm sure they'd all react a little differently. But you can see that there are quite a few peppers on that Hungarian sweet hot. And bell peppers on the far plants. I've already picked a couple off that orange bell pepper on the back left. There are jalapenos in there, and they kind of blend in with the leaves, so it's hard to see them, but they're doing fairly well. Get a little close up on these over here. More in there. There. And then the closer plants are all bell peppers again. Those are King of the North, which are a red variety. And they have not given off any finished ripening fruit yet. Interesting thing about the ones out here, beside the fact that they're running behind the ones in the greenhouse, is that they also suffer from some damage being out here, such as sunburn, and I think maybe a little more insect pressure. Overall, I would say the plants in the greenhouse kind of win hands down. That damage, however, is primarily to the bell peppers. The other varieties seem to have done okay.